Today's episode of the Bleav in Steelers podcast is brought to you by betonline.ag and Ike. Monday Night Football tonight, wrapping up week 4 of the NFL season. Week 5's almost here. We're almost a quarter of the way through the 2021 season. And if you want to place a bet on the gridiron action, BetOnline is the place to do it.
Tonight, you might as well go to BetOnline because they always open 24/7.
Raiders Chargers on Monday Night Football. I can't wait to watch this one. By the time our listeners and viewers watch this game, that game might very well be over. But head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to receive your bonus. They've got football, basketball, boxing, casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the great offers BetOnline has for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, cue the music. It's time to start the show. And welcome to another edition of the Bleav in Steelers podcast on the Bleav Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mark Bergin, joined as always by my guy, 2-time Super Bowl champion and 12-year veteran of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ike Taylor. Ike, we're coming off a 27-17 loss to the Packers. We're going to get right into it. I want to see how you're doing this morning, my man.
I'm good. Just kind of aggravated by this Pittsburgh still a loss, but other than that, I'm having a good day.
I'm glad I could sleep on it too, Ike, because we were texting some during the game. I was just mad yesterday. I was just downright mad. And it's like the same offensive struggles week in and week out we've seen so far through the 2021 season. Rinse and repeat, losing time of possession, not committing to the running game, trailing by multiple scores and committing to the pass. We saw this yet again where the Steelers throw the ball 40 times. They only run it 16 times. Got to go back to week 6 of 2020 where you had the opposite, where the Steelers ran more than they passed it. It's just like deja vu all over again, Ike.
Yes, an issue. And the correct adjective that you just used was the commitment part of running the football. And that's what they tried to at least establish in that first drive. You know, you give Najee the ball a few times, then you just disappear on giving him the ball. Then you just give him the ball about 14 more other times from the first quarter. And that's not going to work regardless on how you feel. That's just been a problem with Pittsburgh. Either you start off running or you're up like how Green Bay was up on Pittsburgh and you end the game running. But you got to be up to do that. So, but Pittsburgh did either. They didn't do either. So that's what's just the frustrating part, man. We still like bottom 5 in the league in rushing. But we ain't even trying to rush it. Everybody talking about, well, he has to pass to win the ball game. Because like you say, Mark, we're not even trying to be committed to the run game.
Let's get right into Big Ben's struggle. So, producer Herbert, if you want to move the slide along, the question we have to ask is this. Through 4 games, is it time to bench Big Ben? Because, Ike, if we're not there, I think we are awfully close. And the question I have is at what point does the onus of the offensive struggles fall on him? We're going to get into a deep discussion with this, but what do you think about this, Ike? Is it time to bench Big Ben?
Well, first of all, no, I don't think so. To answer your question, no. And the reason why I say no, you still have enough AFC games to play. So see how Ben does in these AFC games, you know. And then after the AFC games, you know, is he the problem? And that's what you look at. So you just look at, of course, everything. I don't think 7 is the total blame. I just think 7 needs to go tell the offense coordinator that we do need to run the ball. I think 7 has that kind of power on that side. He's been in, you know, the organization for a long time now, over 15 years. They'd be like, you know what, man, let's try to establish a run game. Now, if you don't want to do that, then I think 7 is the problem. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about the offensive line, but we started to see a lot of teams in the NFL who has a lot of young offensive linemen But one thing they trying to establish is the run game. And when you don't try to establish a run game, you expose offensive linemen by putting your offensive lineman in harm's way and your quarterback by trying to pass the ball 48 to 50 times a game. And I think that's too much what the Pittsburgh Steelers trying to do. They're trying to pass the ball 45 to 50 times a game. And you see what the record has given us. It's given us 1-4, 1-3. So that's the only issue I don't like. And having a defense like Pittsburgh got a top 5 defense. So having a defense like that, it's just hard keeping them guys on the field all the time. Sooner or later, man, Coach T got a philosophy. Bend but don't break. But if we just doubling plays, if the offense got 60 plays and hell, the defense got 75 plays, 80 plays, they're going to wind up breaking regardless. But that's just been the issue. I don't think it's time now to bench 7, but it's getting close. It's getting real close, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you how they're going to finesse it. They're going to say 7 has a lot of injuries, and he needs to let his body heal. Basically, I'm going to save grace and say we're not benching you in the public. I guarantee you that's exactly how it's going to happen. They're going to put him on IR, and that's what they're going to do. Excuse me.
Like you mentioned the offensive line. I didn't think they played that poorly yesterday because Big Ben was hit just 5 times yesterday. He had 40 passing attempts. He was pressured only 7% of the time. That's the lowest percentage by a quarterback with 40 pass attempts since 2013, Ike. That's from ESPN Stats and Info. And I look at Big Ben and I ask myself a few questions. How many of his stats where if you just look at the box score and you say, 232 yards, a touchdown, an interception, 26 completions, how many of his stats come when the defense is playing off coverage and almost more of a prevent defense to prevent any deep shots when you're trailing multiple scores, a defense keeping everything in front of it? And then the other question I have is how the team has to play nearly a perfect game to win because of the struggles of this offense. And it's like we talked to Solomon Wilcots of the Bleav in Bengals podcast, a former player, Ike. We heard it during the broadcast with Tony Romo where Big Ben misses Juju Smith-Schuster on a deep shot. The week before, Big Ben misses James Washington down the field.
Right.
You missed your deep shots, and you always tell me, listen to the players. And what the players are saying is when you have those opportunities, you've got to take advantage, and you can't miss those throws. It's the second straight week we've seen that with Big Ben.
Yeah, that's the issue. Just not getting the ball up. And teams understand they'll rather give up Big Ben throwing deep balls now and sitting on intermediate routes to short routes. Because that's basically what they're doing. So is 7 the issue? I think he's part of the issue. Really, I think he's damn near 60, 75% of the issue on the offensive side to keep it 100 with you. But it's not time to bench him. I'm looking at, they 1-3 in their division. Everybody else in the AFC North is 3-1. Mm-hmm. They're 0-1 in their division when it comes down to AFC North games. Right now, the Bengals are 1-0. So that's a good thing. It's just Pittsburgh have to win out in their division to at least have a chance. But it's a tough uphill battle from what I'm looking at. In the offense, they're in the middle. Passing 15th, receiving 15th, and 32nd in rushing. That's not going to win you no ball games when you 32nd in the league. Now, Mr. Rooney said in the offseason, man, that he'd be damned if if they're last place in rushing. And little did we know, they're 32nd in rushing in the NFL. That's not a good sign, 50 points total. That's 28th in the league. That's not a good sign. And just looking at what the defense has been doing on the defensive side, they've been keeping Pittsburgh in games. It's not like they're not keeping Pittsburgh in games. It's just usually you say this about a defense or a team, but the Pittsburgh offense is finding ways to lose these ball games for the Pittsburgh Steelers overall in general. That's just what it is.
Failing to score 17 points in each of the 3 games during the 3-game losing streak, Ike. And you say the sideline tells the story. I'm sure you saw Juju slamming the tablet down. And it's like, this is not to take away from Big Ben's career. He's the 18 years as the Steelers quarterback. He's been terrific. But dating back to what we saw last season when the Steelers lost 5 of their last 6 games, and then the first 4 to open up this year, a lot of times in the NFL, it's what have you done for me lately? And I'm just to the point where whether it's Mason Rudolph, you've got Dwayne Haskins under contract for just the 2021 season. If it keeps up as is, and like I think I'm already at this point to say, let's see what the young guys can do here. And again, it's not to take away anything Big Ben's accomplished in his career, but when he's missing deep shots, and then a thing I wanted to make sure we talked about on today's show was throwing short of the sticks on 4th down, not once, but twice. And we saw it happen last week against the Bengals on a 4th down late in the game where Big Ben thinks he's got Najee Harris in the flat end one-on-one. We saw it again. We saw a short pass as well on a 4th down conversion as well. It was to Juju Smith-Schuster, and he's trying to make a play and trying to stretch for the 1st down. And it's like, if you've got a third and distance to go and a 4th and distance to go, if you're going to throw it short of the sticks, you better be pretty certain that the player is going to be able to pick up the remaining yardage. And if not, it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. There we go. It was frustrating as hell. It's frustrating as hell.
Yes, it's an issue. I mean, on them two 4th downs though, you throw the ball in front of the guy. One of them, you throw the ball in front of him, you keep him running. The guy to get up 2 yards just off of GP. On the other one, man, when it's 4th and long, I think Cincinnati just did a great situational game plan on Big Ben in the red zone on disguising, thinking it was going to be a cover 0, but it wasn't, and that's an all-out blitz. But they wound up dropping back in the zone, and you had 6 guys rallying to Najee. So I thought on that part that was just good by the DC with Cincinnati. But yeah, it's not looking good on the offensive side, period. And I think Ben has total control to go to the OC and be like, can we at least switch it up, meaning at least let me run the ball. They tried that first series. I don't know if 7 wants to get under center. That's another question. I don't know if he's comfortable in staying under center. I don't know if he just wants to be a shotgun quarterback, but if you look at these, Tom Brady under center when it's time to, Aaron Rodgers under center when it's time to, Russell Wilson under center when it's time to. So it's a lot of your top 5, top 3 quarterbacks that don't mind getting under center and, doing the play action pass or trying to start or finish the game with the run game and commit to the run game. But like you said earlier, doing the show, Mark, it's the commitment part. And right now they're not committing to the run game.
Big Ben, 400 career touchdown passes, opening drive touchdown to Deontay Johnson. It was like, oh my gosh, could Pittsburgh opening score, build a lead, get back to 500. First opening score since week 10 of the 2020 season, past Dan Marino for 6th place all-time as well, and all-time passing yardage. But like only 2 plays of 20 yards or more. So the explosiveness, we've talked about Deontay Johnson a lot. We know what he can do. We know what Najee can do if you get him in the open field.
Right.
You've got the offensive skill position players, and it's like, man, it's this offense. Something's got to give. And it's just like, I thought that the offense wouldn't be any worse than it was a season ago. Cause it's like, well, how could it be worse? And it seems like they are just in an absolute funk as well. We mentioned the plays short of the sticks. Another thing too, the red zone play calling as well, getting bailed out by a penalty, like try to be a little bit more creative. It just seems like they're doing the same things we saw a season ago. And I know, again, you put a lot of the onus on Big Ben and committing to the running game. And that's really something I want to see. Like, I want to see a game, even if they average 2 or 3 yards per carry, where they run it more than they pass it. Just see what happens. And we just haven't seen that. And you couldn't do that when you're down multiple scores against Green Bay.
No, you can't. I mean, I'm looking at 7, 3 for 3. 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. That ain't gonna cut it. And that's for the year. So out of 4 games, 7 pushing, a 3-piece, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's. I mean, we getting. I know they asked Coach T, "Do you need to hit the panic button?" And I thought this game, after this game, man, you got to hit the panic button. You got to go on and see what these young guys can do. Because then it comes back to what I was talking about 2 years ago, Mark, and everybody got mad with me. Oh, you was a Ben hater. I said, no, I'm just looking at this damn division. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield, I'm looking at Lamar Jackson, and I'm looking at a young Joe Burrow. And if y'all keep just letting 7 just sit back there and he's being this productive, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and you don't go out and get a new young person that can move and keep up with the AFC North, let alone just the AFC period. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. We ain't even talking about the AFC North. We just talking about the AFC period.
Josh Allen.
So now y'all see what the hell I was talking about 2 years ago when I was just looking at the damn division and I was like, hey, man, we need to get us a young quarterback because you have a defense who is all in their prime. At least you can lean on the defense and let your young quarterback, if he's mobile, use his legs when he gets in trouble. At least give you that point. But nah, they see what I'm talking about. But I get it though. I get it. I don't study these people, but it's all good. Seven got to clean his act up, man. He got to clean his act up.
Something I wanted to ask you about is just given the offensive struggles, at what point as a defensive player do you just kind of throw in the towel and give up? Because again,
never. You never, as a defensive player, as a professional player, you never throw the towel in. Because that's what made you. There's a lot of people, that's exactly what they do. When the stuff hits the fan and they hit adversity, that's the first they make excuses or they throw the towel in. Mm-hmm. And to get in a situation where there's 254 people who get drafted each year in the world, you never thrown in the towel. And that's not going to be your person. That's not going to be your personality. So on the defensive side, especially being a damn Pittsburgh Steelers, you definitely ain't throwing the towel by any means and having some kind of pride and knowing the history and keeping the history up just on the defensive side. That's exactly what you're doing. You're going to go today, Monday after the game. We're going in on Monday. We're going to say, man, what else can we do to help this damn offense? That's exactly how you're thinking when you're a Pittsburgh Steelers, especially when you're playing on that defensive side.
Excellent answer to, I'll admit, what was a lousy question. And getting TJ Watt back, he had a fumble recovery, which kept the Steelers in the game. But we'll move to the Taylor Talk segment as well. And we talked about throwing short of the sticks, but the offsides penalty near the end of the second quarter, right before the start of the half. Mm-hmm. It's like the chicken or the egg, which came first. I've watched this probably 2 or 3 dozen times now, and we've got the clip courtesy of NFL Game Pass. Right. Joe Haden is called for an offsides penalty. Minkah Fitzpatrick blocks Mason Crosby's field goal attempt, scoops it up, and looks like he scores a touchdown, but the referees call a penalty. What did you see on this play? And then I can get into what I saw and then some of the chatter I've seen on social media.
Yeah, so the ball actually, as you can see the center, the ball actually goes up. So that means it moved. So the ball goes up, man. You looking down it toward that center from Joe Haden and Minkah Fitzpatrick point of view. As soon as that ball go up, they gone. So that's damn near perfect. That's damn near perfect timing. So I thought in my mind that wasn't offsides at all. I thought that's a damn great jump. That's a damn great jump on the ball. And that's a whole momentum changer. That's a whole momentum changer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I thought it wasn't offsides because people looking at the snap, meaning the ball moves backwards first. In order to snap it, your hand has to go up, then down. And that's exactly what happened. As soon as they saw that ball being moved up, they took off.
Yeah, I've watched this frame by frame. If you watch the ball go up, watch the ball go up first. Gone. Once to go up, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Once the ball goes up, I'm gone. That means you move the ball. See, everybody looking at the ball being snapped backwards. That ain't got nothing to do with it. If we can replay that one more time, Herbert, watch it go up. As soon as it go up, they go. Go on, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going. Ain't no need for me to sit. Ain't no need for me to sit. Pop up. Look, that's like us running a 100-yard dash. Y'all better not shoot that gun twice because I'm gone. I'm itching. My hell fire. That's what happened. Changed the whole game around. That would have put Pittsburgh. Yep. That would have gave Pittsburgh at least an opportunity. Would have changed the momentum, but they didn't call it back. Green Bay wind up making a field goal, so another L.
Yeah, head coach Mike Tomlin even said as such that play is huge because you're changing points of Pittsburgh getting a touchdown, Green Bay putting 3 on the board. So it was a huge game, and Green Bay led at that point. I Bleav it was 14-7 in that game, and so they extended the lead going into halftime as well.
7-2.
Yeah. I've watched that frame by frame. I do think Joe Haden, if you watch it frame by frame, moved just before Hunter Bradley either moves the ball, snaps the ball, however you want to phrase it. However, that doesn't necessarily mean he breaks the plane of the neutral zone, which would warrant an offsides penalty. So because you can move around, movement doesn't necessarily equate being offsides. I've watched football. I'm 28, right? So I've watched football for 2 decades. I have never seen a closer play where, like, I'll be honest, I am not quite sure. And people are blowing up my Twitter comments saying I'm an idiot and I need to get my eyes checked.
Let's ask fine. If you can run that play back. Hey, watch when it go up, bro. As soon as it go up, don't worry about it getting snapped. Go. God dog it, I'm going. Holy moly. Holy moly, I'm gone, baby. I'm gone. I'm mad. I'm mad as a player. I couldn't do that because them boys had as soon as that ball goes up, hell with it being snapped. Oh, see the snapper, he must have had an indicator in the special teams meeting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He must have had an indication on, his snap count or something, because them boys got a hell of a jump. Because look at the 2 guys who are actually by the center. They didn't get that good of a jump.
Yeah.
Got them, but they're second late.
Yeah, it's a tough break either way for the Steelers. Yeah. And again, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, you remember that internet sensation a few years ago where it was like the dresses, like people were like, no, it's black and blue. No, it's white and gold. It's the same thing on social media. If you're a Steelers fan, Packers fan, everyone's been weighing in on this play. And I kind of enjoy it. People telling me that I'm an idiot on social media. And I'll say, hey, I don't necessarily disagree. I'm going to ask my guy, Ike Taylor, about it, who's got hell of a lot more expertise than I do.
No, you good. I mean, it's a close situation. Depending on what's up. You asked the Green Bay Packers, man, there was offsides. You asked the Pittsburgh Steelers, you wasn't offsides. So that's just how it's going to go. You can't satisfy everybody.
Yeah, the one angle I wish we could see, like in an ideal world, is like on the ground from the sidelines right at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
That clip does not exist to my knowledge. Maybe it'll come out in the coming days, but the clips that we have available, courtesy of NFL Game Pass, again, a bang play, and the Steelers get penalized for it. And it was a huge play during Sunday's game. Like other week 4 observations, the Buccaneers beating the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. And I'll tell you what, I stayed up to watch this game. Shout out to whoever held Rodney Harrison's umbrella during the Sunday Night Football pregame show. That is the biggest question, the biggest mystery I have after week 4.
But did you see what I tweeted?
Yeah.
I mean, you got come on, Rodney. You got 2 Hall of Famers holding their own damn umbrella. And Mike Tirico is internationally known because I see him on the Olympics. He do basketball, he do baseball, he do football, he do gymnastics. Yeah, I see it. He's a Hall of Famer. Come on, Rodney, bro. Come on, man. You're that important to where you can't hold your own umbrella? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's the first thing I said. That's the first thing I saw. I was like, damn, we got 3 Hall of Famers sitting on this staff. Riding, you're a damn fool for that. You're a fool for that, bro. You're a fool for that. So shout out to the umbrella holding person.
I was hoping they would bring the umbrella holding person into the conversation when they were making his picks, where it's like, hey, shout out to this person who's helped keeping me dry while we make our pregame picks ahead of Bucks Patriots. That's what I was hoping for.
My mama, if my mama would have saw I did that, my mama would have found somebody for that network and told them to put that damn umbrella down and make that boy hold his own umbrella. That's what my mom would. I guarantee you.
Yeah. But the Bucks taking care of business, what was a gloomy game. Patriots very nearly won, missing a 56-yard field goal. I was kind of surprised they went for a field goal that far out, and it doinked off the field goal post, and the Bucks win on the road. And you tweeted this during the game as well. Buccaneers playing without Rob Gronkowski, and we see how that offense struggled without Gronk on the field.
Oh, you can tell his safety blanket is Gronk all day, because he tried Mike Evans in the first half, and Mike dropped a few. Then he went to his homeboy AB in late in the second half, and AB dropped a few. And you know one thing, this slow for show Sasquatch, great hands tight end named Rob Gronkowski, he gonna catch every damn ball. That's what the hell he gonna do. He gonna find a way to get open, and he gonna catch the ball. And that's what he missed. Because we can talk about Brate that they acquired over free agency. We can talk about O.J. Howard, who we thought was gonna be the man coming from Alabama. No. He went and got his homeboy from out of retirement. Now they're doing segments sitting at the outdoor facility for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on certain days out the week. And that's the reason. And I thought Tom Brady really missed Rob Gronkowski because he know for sure he's a sure-handed. They both got the same mind frame because they played together for so long. So that's just what it is. And that's what he missed on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday. You know, what Mike Evans dropping a few, Brate dropped a few, and AB dropped a real good one that it was a tough catch, but you know, AB supposed to make them catches. Now any other receiver, we kind of expect to drop them balls, but coming from, you know, a multi-Pro Bowler in AB, we feel like he should make them catches. But Gronk was missed. He was missed badly. But you gotta give a huge shout out to Coach Belichick. Man, he came up with a goddamn defensive game plan that rattled Tom, rattled the hell out of Tom. But you can just tell on the defensive side for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they was playing for Tom. They didn't want Tom to lose this ball game. Because them guys was flying around. Even when they was messing up going 1,000 miles an hour. So the offense didn't help. Tom did have some missed passes, but at the same time, he dropped some balls in the bucket that the receiver should have caught, and he didn't. But on that defense side, man, I felt like they played for Tom. They didn't want Tom to come out of that stadium with the L.
On the flip side of that, Mac Jones completing 19 straight passes against the Buccaneers defense. Not quite as stout as they were a year ago on the Super Bowl run, Ike. I know we've talked a little bit about this before, but a rookie quarterback doing that, I know it's at home, but the weather conditions weren't great either.
I mean, you're talking about 19 passes under 10 yards, and the one pass that he threw deep got intercepted. So that's I mean, come on, Mark. Mark, if me and you can throw 10-yard passes all day and get 19 straight, and the one we try to throw past 20 yards get intercepted, that's all about right.
Well, that's fine, Ike. But the Patriots running game really couldn't get going, so the onus falls on the quarterback. Yeah.
No, you're right. No, I'm not going to disagree with that part. Like, you know, Matt Jones had a game where he always kept him in position to win the ball game. Because when it came down to the run game, it was the first time, I think, under Belichick, they had negative yards rushing. No, rushing. I think they had like -1 yards rushing. That's what it was yesterday. But other than that, man, they put themselves in position. They had a chance to win the ball game. They just missed the field goal 4 inches short. 4 inches wide left from that field goal position. But yeah, that Coach Belichick and that defensive game plan, that was something. So you could tell. You can tell that was Coach Belichick's Super Bowl, and the relief that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers had won that game. You could tell that was Tom Brady's Super Bowl. Now I think Tom Brady will play free. He just had to get that off his chest. He wanted to go into Gillette Stadium and win that ball game. So and I'm glad he did, because I'm a Tom Brady guy. So
I appreciate the vote in confidence in my short game passing ability.
For sure. I mean, 5 yards, if you can't get the ball out in 5 yards, something wrong as an NFL quarterback. That's all he was doing.
In week 4, Ike, do you want to I know you tweeted some about how the Bears should keep Justin Fields in the mix, and I'll add on top of that, continue to allow offensive coordinator Bill Lazor to call the plays. I know you're going against the Lions. The Bears absolutely whipped up on the Lions, but like, to me, it was just like, go with what's working. And that combination of Justin Fields getting his second career start, winning his first career game, and then Bill Lazor took over for head coach Matt Nagy and the play calling ability as well. I think keep those two, keep that combination, keep and stay with what is working. That simple.
I mean, with Justin Fields and Trey Lance, you just let them two boys rock. And what I mean by rock, man, you just let them play. The energy is just different. The guys on the offensive side, they play different. The vibe is different. It's a more energetic feeling when the offense comes out. There's a little pop to it. It's a little sauce on it. So, and that's just coming from the two quarterbacks. So when I see this, Mark, I'm like, man, there is no need for Coach Nagy, man, when Andy Dalton do get back healthy, to bring him back. You know, like I know you say he the starter, and you can be like, just go out on and tell us, man, right now, Justin Fields just give us a great opportunity to win these ball games. Even on the defensive side, the defense, those boys running to the ball because they want to see what Justin Fields can do, because they see it in practice every day. So I'm looking at Coach Nagy and company like, man, y'all see how the same way the Rams defense felt about Matthew Stafford coming over to the LA Rams from Detroit Lions. They was talking about in the offseason. They said, oh, we finally got a quarterback. That's what they said on the defensive side. What the hell you think the San Francisco 49ers saying on the defensive side when Trey Lance come? What the hell you think the Chicago Bears saying when Justin Fields come in the game? They've been saying it. They've been even the offensive lineman, is it Peters? The left tackle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like he was like, man, the man is special. Mm-hmm. So and he been around for a long time. And he said this during the preseason. So when he's saying the man special, what you waiting on, coach? Don't fight it. Don't fight it. That's the problem. You being a coach and you fighting the man, sometimes you just got to go off script or just acknowledge when something is good. You see what Coach Harbaugh is doing over there with the Baltimore Ravens. You talking about close ties, him and Lamar Jackson, they close. He asking Lamar. He ain't even worried about the offensive coordinator. Lamar, you want to go for it on fourth down? That's what you build. Like, we're not saying that about Matt Jones. We're not saying that about Zach Williams. We're saying that about Justin Fields, and we're saying that about Trey Lance.
No love for Zach Wilson after the Jets beat the Titans, Ike? No love?
No, it's love for him. I'm just talking about being special. Everybody ain't going to be special. You know what I'm saying? I
am with you, because people are acting like this draft class is going to be legendary, and it very well could be. But of the 5 or so guys that are out there, like, just law of averages, Ike, 1 or 2 of them are going to be, whether you want to call them busts or that they don't work out, they're below average starters, what have you. So I'm with you there. I still think it's too soon to say, okay, this guy versus that guy. Too soon. A lot of it is team fit as well. What's the infrastructure around you? We get into a whole nother can of worms there. But I am with you in the sense that to just automatically anoint that, all 5 are going to be future Pro Bowl quarterbacks, I think is nonsense.
No, it's hard. It's hard to be a Pro Bowler in the league, especially with them young Justin Herberts and them Josh Allens, well, you're going to have to wait in line. You will have to have an outstanding season, because even as good as Baker Mayfield playing, and Baker Mayfield got to wait. One of them quarterbacks got to go down in the AFC for him to get there, regardless on what. Baker can go 13-4 now? Baker can go 13-4. But if he ain't putting the numbers up as the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, and the Patrick Mahomes and the Justin Herberts, he going to have to wait in line for this Pro Bowl. He going to have to wait in line for this Pro Bowl. And that's how tough it is.
Yeah, we might be waiting a while.
Right.
Anything else from week 4 that stood out to you, before we briefly tease ahead to the week? Yeah.
Trey Diggs, the cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. He in the Matrix.
The Cowboys are legit, Ike. It's crazy.
But check this out. They 27-0 when they run the ball more than they pass it. The last 2 games, they've been running the ball more than they've been passing it. And you see what the hell going on. Hey, Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, dog. That's crazy.
One of these weeks, Ike, I know, week 6 of the 2020 season, the last time we saw it. And you absolutely, I'm going to use a word you use, Ike, mollywopped the Browns a season ago when you ran the ball more than you passed it. Ike, again, they could average 3 yards per carry. I want to see what happens if it happens one game. That's all I'm asking.
That's always been a recipe to winning ball games. That's always, and the Super Bowls. That's always been a recipe, bro. Always. Tampa Bay, last year, playoff Lenny. Tom Brady understood, running down ball. The year before that, Patrick Mahomes.
Damian Williams.
I felt like he should have been the MVP for that game. They ran the ball. Like that's just what you do. You play good defense and you run the ball. And all of a sudden, man, everybody just get pass happy. Now it's good for fantasy point during the season, but during the playoffs and for these Super Bowls, man, you run the ball because you're trying to eliminate the offense on having too many opportunities, and that's passing the ball and keep giving them opportunities after opportunities. Same way. Who that was 3 years ago. We can go back 3 years. Well, all they had to do when Deshaun Watson with the Texans and they were starting, all they had to do was keep running the ball. But no, what they want to do, they wanted to pass the ball against Patty Mahomes, kept giving the man opportunities. Yeah. Now he didn't came back from down there 21, 24 points. It's not that hard. Tom Brady, when it was down in Atlanta in the Super Bowl, when it was down 21 points, down
28-3. 28-3. Ike, you're trying to make sure no one from Atlanta listens to our show. I know what you're doing. Atlanta Falcons.
Nah.
Plus,
we got cigars in the 8. We got cigars in the 8. So nah.
I just teasing you. I'm just saying. Ike, week 5, Broncos at Steelers coming into Heinz Field. No line on this game. And Ike, you brought up the good point where Teddy Two Gloves might not be playing in week 5.
Teddy Two Gloves ain't playing. Pittsburgh got action. Teddy Two Gloves play. That's another L for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Oh, man. See, my Missouri contingency, Ike, that's my alma mater. No love for Drew Lock, who's been on the bench, lost the starting competition to Teddy Bridgewater, and he's struggled. He's just been an up and down player. So we'll see whether he gets the start against the Steelers. We're going to have a full preview later this week, an episode due out Friday, breaking down the preview matchup between the Broncos and the Steelers. Again, Pittsburgh going to be playing at home in this one as well. So hopefully the Steelers can right the ship, but the Broncos 3-1 to start this season. They look pretty good through 4 weeks of this season.
Yeah, they got a front folk. They got a Von Miller company. They get to that quarterback. Von Miller then got 3 little minions, and they got the same DNA, and all they want to do is throw a party at the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been throwing parties at the quarterback. And Justin Simmons sitting back in that backfield, who's the captain of that secondary, he ain't been doing nothing but making plays.
And this has also been without Bradley Chubb, who had ankle surgery, expected back at some point. But You mentioned Von Miller, the Batman, Bradley Chubb opposite, almost the Robin for that Broncos defense. And again, he's been out, expected to be back in like 6 to 8 weeks. So he won't play against the Steelers after that ankle surgery, but another good edge rusher for this Broncos team. But again, we're going to have a full breakdown later this week, and maybe we'll get a line when we record later this week too, like on this game. We'll have a better indication of what players' health status are. But Ike, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Pittsburgh, run the down ball.
If you listen to one thing on today's show, that's all you need to know. That one sentence, I'm with you, Ike. I want to give a shout out to you, Ike. You're the best. To the Bleav Podcast Network, to the folks over at Brinks TV, led by John Brinkus, Courtney Vargas, Herbert Diaz, and their team over there. Today's sponsor, Bet Online as well. And to you, the listeners and the viewers of the Bleav in Steelers podcast, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off that. Bet Online, thanks. Major shout out. Brinks TV, thanks. Major shout out. Mark, to you. Major shout out to you. Major shout out to also Bleav in Steelers podcast for giving Mark and I this opportunity. What this is,
101, I believe. This is 101.
This 101. Major shout out to the Bleav in podcast for giving us this opportunity. Want to give a shout out, man, to everybody who's been viewing and listening. Make sure y'all subscribe and give us a 5-star. Just how y'all like y'all hotels and y'all food, 5 stars. Make sure y'all rate and review us with the 5-star piece. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in and listening.
For Ike Taylor, I'm Mark Bergin. Thank you for listening to the Bleav in Steelers podcast. We will see you later this week. Take care, and so long, everybody.
Peace.